Hey everybody, welcome to Wish Upon a Quilt. You normally see Lori here, but I'm the guy behind the scenes, and I've been told I have a face for radio, but today I wanted to be in front of the camera. So glad to have you. We're going through some tough times right now, we all know that. So we thought as a group, as a staff, what can we do to help people with a project? What can we do to kind of say, you know what, things are bad out there, they're going to get better, and let's help each other. And that's what we're trying to do today. So what we come up with is a Wish exclusive tied in with Kimberbell, and it's going to be a 3-day event. We're going to do about a half-hour segment today, a half-hour segment tomorrow, and then the big unveiling on Friday. It's a lot of fun. This is something different. It is with the Kimberbell Boardwalk, but we're not doing a quilt. We're going to do something just different. So we thought, how do we do this? And who do we have to teach this? And who do we have to show this? And we want somebody with really low energy, doesn't like to do things, hates being in front of the camera. Just can't stand being in front of the camera.
Stop it.
So we looked and we looked and we couldn't find anybody. So all of a sudden we said, well, what about Costa? So we had to twist his arm and say, please get in front of a camera. Please be upbeat. Please talk about Janome. Please talk about Kimberbell. And please share with the group. So we begged him, we borrowed, we twisted his arm. I bought 6 packs of Diet Pepsi, and he showed up. On a serious note, he's dying to do this. We've been talking on the phone about every day. Katie's been around, Judy's been around, Chris has been around, Jana's been around. Diana's working from home with project ideas. We're going to keep doing this. We are in the Janome room, and we're going to share this when it's done. But this is where our machines are now. The 550E we're using today. You can see some of the accessories we have with the seat cushion, with the back, and we're going to do a few more things you're going to see here. There's the M7.
I love it.
Everything is on sale. We bought some machines for the Quilt Guild that was canceled. I'm having an in-store show deal. So by appointment only, we're practicing safe distancing. We're practicing social distancing. All the wonderful words that we didn't know about 2 weeks ago, we're practicing all those. So, without further ado, I'm sorry, one more thing. Our website was down. Why, of course it was. Let's see. Buy a quilt shop, do coronavirus, knock down your website. Anything else? Don't worry about it. You guys keep supporting us, we'll support you. Our system isn't the best. We all know that. I'm working on it. That's why you have somebody that spelled words from me. But our website is back up and running. Our Wish Wednesday sale is back up and running today. It's $7.99 for select novelties, minimum 1 yard cuts. Please go on there and look. We could certainly use your support. I actually threw on 2 embroidery designs for bottles of wine. I don't know about you guys, but bottles of wine are a hot supply right now in our house. So I thought, you know what? Why not throw those on sale too? And you can put an apron there. Katie had a great idea yesterday. We're doing these pillows. What are they called again, Katie? You can talk.
Pillow Pals.
Thank you.
Pillow Pals.
Pillow Pals. Take a look. That's on our newsletter today, but it's a great project for the kids. So do the Pillow Pals with the kids. When they're all done and their battery runs out of their iPad, boom, open your bottle of wine and do the apron.
That's John.
So, really all I got. They're all laughing at me behind the scenes, but you know what? If you can't have fun, guys, come on. We got to have fun. It's a quilt store. I keep telling you that. So, thanks for joining us. This is going to be about 15 to 20 minutes, but then wait a minute, Costa's talking, so it'll probably be a half hour. I will try to move him along.
Oh my God.
We will then have it on our group page on Facebook. And it's about sharing, right? What was the word I used? I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, the sharing, projects
sharing.
Project sharing.
Questions on there. We'll post some of what we're building today,
Right.
and we'll keep this social going from a distance. And then tomorrow we'll have a second segment of this, and we'll finish it up on Friday, and we're going to have something special for you Friday based off this project that no one else will have. So without further ado, we had to twist his arm, so he really doesn't want to do this. Is Mr. Costa Constantino.
Hey everybody, I am so glad that you heard me laughing. Frank is like picking on me 24/7, but I love him. It's called Wish Stay at Home Projects, okay? And we will have a Wish Upon a Quilt Facebook group for you to share your projects with us. Please make sure you have your questions for today, your likes, your dislikes. Give us some comments. Make sure that I know what you want me to do, what we're doing. I have got a real exciting thing going on. And I want to talk to you. I've talked to Frank about it. I've talked to all my friends here. As you know, I live alone, and so I guess I need this more than you guys do. So I need to be on connecting with you. And that's what I want to make sure you guys are doing projects. I know that people are making face masks right now and Kimberbears and doing things for children, but my concern really is you. That's what we want. We want you engaged, and we want you home, and we want you making things, because crafting is the way that we can go that expresses ourselves. And I know we don't keep our things. I don't have one thing. I give it away, but it makes us feel better. But today, one of the things that I love about all of Kim Christopherson's, who is the CEO and designer of Kimberbell, I've been to Utah 3 times. I just left there 3 weeks ago. And one of the things I love about their quilts is not necessarily the quilt, which I love that too. It's those wonderful projects she has in the back. Now, in the Vintage Boardwalk, if you've bought the book, which 98% of you I'm talking to you have, and y'all bought your kits, you know that if you've looked in the back, I know you're real involved with the book, or with the quilt, but in the book, starting around page, if you haven't, I know y'all are real involved, you'll see that she starts around page 40, excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong thing, page 34, she starts her projects of what you can do with, and she even says, I make 4 oh-so-sunny projects for your home. Well, I looked at them, love every one of them, but there's one that took my eye, but I didn't really want to do it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you another project, but here is the deal. Frank is telling me these people have to trust you. I'm hoping that you will trust me. At the end of this 3rd day, which will be Friday, you will have a finished project if you follow me. You got to do what I tell you to do. You got to do it, and don't go ahead of me, because I'm going to tell you where you're going to get these projects, but as we do it, you're going to do it with me, because you're going to have something finished in 3 days, and it will be finished. So here's the deal. In the back of the book, there's a thing called Time to Coast. It's a throw that she has created, a quilt throw called Time to Coast. It's on page 42 of your book. I'm not going to play with that book too much because I'm not doing the throw. Let me repeat that again. I'm not doing the throw. I'm not doing that quilt. Instead, I am more fascinated with the cars and the coasting across the quilt. So if you look, there are 5 embroidered blocks. I think I'm 5, Frank. I'm sorry.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5 embroidered blocks that you are going to do with me. We're going to do them tonight. I've already started. You're going to come back to me with those 5 blocks done. Now you're going to say, but Costa, I don't have the fabric. As we speak right now, Judy's over there. Her hand is bleeding. Give her a bandage over there. She's cutting my kits for me. Don't turn around, Judy.
Judy.
Say hi. Judy!
Hello.
Judy, are you cutting kits
I am cutting kits. Look
for
at
our
all
surprise?
These,
For
look
our
at all these
surprise.
For our
beautiful
fries on
fabric.
Friday?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, these
Lots
kits,
of
and
fabric.
keep showing them, Frank. These kits are using boardwalk fabric, but not only we're trying to, I asked Lori to pick the colors out because I wanted Frank to use as many basics of Kimberbell that we could. Now, this is not a quilt. You will get a packet. Let me show them, Frank. And I'm just going to show it quickly. You're going to get a packet, a lot of fat 16ths in here. You're going to get a lot of different things. And I'm going to throw it out here and hide it from all those who are looking. Because here's what you need. We're going to use a background fabric for these blocks. It's going to be a white with a very tiny polka dot, another Kimberbell basic. The dot, you'll see it in your kit. It's like a sort of a light orange. So you'll see those. You're going to use that for the background of your 5 blocks. today I'm going to show you, this is my background of the block. Now I know mine is blue. Why is that? Because I didn't have the kit. I'm using scraps from my Kimberbell scrap bag. So I'm just using whatever I could to show you. Okay? And so I had enough. So that is what we're going to use. You're going to pull it out of your kit and you're going to cut it to what you need. When we make, today I'm going to show you, this is what we're going to work on a little bit today. But real fast, Frank, I am going to show, these are two of the blocks, the adorable blocks. You can see my stabilizer's still on them because I'm going to cut them with you tomorrow. And so there's you'll make two palm trees, one shorter than the other. And you look at this bus. Frank, take a look at this bus. Give me a close-up, Frank. Because look, this bus is supposed to be like one of those old Volkswagen buses. I actually drove this in Germany for 3 years because a Marine was selling it and I didn't have a car. And we would drive the kids around. This was in Dodea, Department of Defense School.
You still don't have a car.
I still don't have a car, Frank says. Thank you, Frank. So, but I love that wagon. And it was like a Flintstone wagon. It would break down in the snow all the time. You'd have to put your feet on a special thing for it to go. It was so much fun. Anyway, as you can see, Frank's going to look. Look how clever Kim Christopherson, our designer. She's taken and she's put vinyl on top. So we're going to show you that you're going to read these instructions and you're going to do the vinyl on top of the stitching. Follow those instructions. Now, we're going to make these. I'm going to make today the bicycle with you. It's so much fun. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take what I did first, Frank, is I stabilized my cotton. I stabilized my cotton with SF101. Now, SF101 is, of course, I'm not a crazy fan of SF101, but I know most of you may have that in your house right now. If you don't, and you work with me, you may have some fusible no-show mesh. If you have that, stabilize that cotton, press it to it. That's my favorite, is fusible no-show mesh. Let me show you what they are. And we have plenty of it here, and medium cutaway in your hoop. You're going to hoop up medium cutaway. This is a little bit, we also, if you go online, of course, we'll get this to you we'll sell this to you. This is our SF101. It is a woven piece where you fuse it on. I'm not the fan of it, but what I do is I double it up. Because I'm so into, things. These are not stitch intensive, so you wouldn't have that problem. Now, the next thing is, after I do that, I don't have it with me, but Frank, it's not here, but we have it. It's called Terial Magic. I love Terial Magic. I take the block of fabric before I even glue this, or I fuse my no-show or fusible woven on. I take and I put that Terial Magic on my cotton because it is not a starch. So those of you who are watching for the first time and don't know Terial Magic, it is not a starch. It's a chemical that is considered a liquid stabilizer. And we're using it, the lady who created it was to make flowers out of fabric and mold fabric. Well, this molds it okay because this will keep it. It wears out eventually, but it's going to hold it, so you're going to pound those stitches in it. Okay? So Terial Magic, you can buy that at wishuponaquilt.
It's online.
It's online. So Terial Magic, fusible no-show mesh, if you prefer, if you already have that. SF101, we buy that by the yard. And of course, everyone probably has some medium tearaway. I've pulled medium cutaway here, forgive me. But it's medium tearaway, forgive me. I pulled the wrong thing. Anyway, it's medium tearaway. It's right over there. Medium tearaway. So make sure you have medium tearaway in your hoop. So I'm going to start off with my medium tearaway in my hoop. Sorry, guys. And I took my piece of fabric that I have created. Now, the first thing I'm going to do here is, and Frank, I hate to ask you to come around. Those of you who are working with the 500E, you're going to know, and all of you who are working with other machines, if you're working with Brother Baby Lock, if you're working with Bernina, those especially have built-in basters that will baste that fabric. Why do I baste it instead of just spraying it and letting it go? Is because if I baste it with it, it's going to stop that puckering. All right, but there's a certain trick with some of these. The basting stitch is so large that it won't always pick up the bobbin. So I go to that first step and, oh, sorry, I didn't get my, so I'm going to first hit this. If you're in the 550E, go here and go where the dotted line is, where the arrow is. And that's going to make it stitch. It does the press start stop button. So when I go over, I'm going to make sure it goes to that spot before I do this. So watch what I'm going to do. I've done this a million times. Just want to make sure my thread is good. I'm going to start it, lower my presser foot, and I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to hold on to my top thread, and I'm going to bring that up because I want to make sure my bobbin, you can feel it come up. There it is. Thank you. And I bring that bobbin up and hold them both because the stitch is so long, Frank, that it won't catch that bobbin. Now I'm going to drop my I'm going to say hit my start button, and it's going to do this. Watch what it's going to do. And I did it in black thread so you can see it. Stop, and let me pull this out of the way. And pull these out of the way. Doesn't really matter. It's just a basting stitch. And you can see that by doing that, it's going to stitch the parameter of that design. I did it in black so you could see it. And there it is. And sometimes I like leaving my tail out like that because I can cut it so much easier. So we know now that that is the parameter of the little bicycle I'm going to make. So I'm ready to start. I'm going to raise my presser foot. And now I'm ready to start. I put my daisy on. I put my daisy on so that I can see every part of my design. If I don't have it on, you don't know what's going to come next, you see. But with my design, I can see it. All right, so now I'm going to do this and hope that we got the right stitch. Good. So now we're ready to go. We'll go to stitch 1. Let me make sure I guess we're ready. All right. Just gonna start with those wheels. There we go. Let me get that stitch out. Now, I'm going to do a little talking a little bit as we're working, but I'm going to show you that I always have with me, always a good something to pull things up. Use a really good tweezer. This isn't a really good tweezer. I have tweezers with me. You want these supplies around you. I'm going to let this stitch while I talk. One of the things is I always have scissors with me, a big scissors just for whatever, but you need these for applique. I have my Hood Sisters, which is great for cotton. I have a small scissors. We sell all this. We have our little Karen K. Buckleys, very curved. We sell these. I love these, but you need something small with a curve. And then I have something large that has a curve. You can see that stitching. Frank is taking that stitching. I'm going to stop it a minute and cut this stitch right here and keep it going. And we're doing the wheels to the little thing. You can see that everything is staying right where it needs to be. Now, real quick, in your book, when you talk about these blocks, Kim Christopherson is going to tell you, oh, you can take this and tape this to your tearaway and then hoop it together because it's not long enough for your tearaway. It's not long enough for your hoop because I'm using a 5x7 hoop. Here is the deal, guys. When you do that, you're adding more work to yourself, and you're not getting those puckers out. So what I do is I float my top fabric, and float it, and then just do my stitching. So you can see it's doing that. These are the important things about this block. As you can see, it's just a normal stitch out. We're going to stitch out the wheels first. Then we're going to stitch around the ball, I think. And then we're going to do the green in the, which it's green here, but it's not, the silver in the spokes. Then we'll do the red of the bicycle. The bicycle's not red. Our bicycle is going to be this color. And the ball is going to be red and sort of an aqua. And the two colors of gray will be the seat of the bike, or the basket of the bike, and the spokes of the bike. So that's what it's all about. Now, one thing that I want to say, when you do the ball, she's going to say for you to take the ball and put a piece of vinyl on top and stitch it, and then trim close to the vinyl. Make sure you read those instructions as you go. While this is doing, it's done with that. We're going to change that thread real fast. And we're going to go to the next thread. We're going to see what's next.
Hey, Costa, what do you like about the 550E?
That's a great question. What I like about the 550E, it's its portability, I have to say. I can take this anywhere. I took this to Kimberbell myself. I had it shipped myself. I put it in a big box. Came beautifully because I wanted to make sure I had my 550 instead of theirs, because I was afraid that she wasn't going to have enough of them because we were doing a Janome project. And the next thing is I love about it is its price point, Frank. I'm glad you asked that. Right now in the industry, our 550E has the largest hoop for that price point that you can get. That will, for that price point, you get an 8 by 14 inch hoop. And you get 4 hoops with it, but on the 5th hoop, you can do a size of it that is amazing. That you can do an 8 by 11. You can get an 8 by 11 magnetic hoop from us, and it's amazing. And then you end up with 5 hoops. Also with this that we don't have today, because I didn't put one, Frank, take a hit on this. This is our spool stand. We don't want you to ever leave without the spool stand, because if you were doing this normally at home, I'm changing these threads and putting them horizontally. What these threads really do best is to stand up, because that's really what embroidery thread comes off the hoop that way, or off the spool that way. So you want it standing up, standing right up as you do. Now you can see I'm making my spokes. I'm so excited. Now I'm going to keep talking a little bit about our new project though, Frank. Here is our deal. When you come up with these 5 blocks and hit me with this while this is stitching, you're going to start on page 42. You're going to do your palm tree. That's okay. Your long palm tree. Then we're going to go over here and do the bus. Follow what she says about the vinyl, because the bus has vinyl on the windows. I have not done my VW yet. You'll see those colors in your kit. And then the bicycle. Last thing while this is stitching, I'm glad it's stitching, we are going to, here at wishuponaquilt, with your boardwalk quilt, you were able to purchase a box of glide thread that corresponded with that. Now let's talk about that. A lot of you who are Thread of the Month Club people may see some repeats, but not many. I'm a Thread of the Month Club, and I saw nothing in here except cardinal red and black and white. That is a repeat. Let me say this quickly. Kim Christopherson and Glide Thread have worked together and have taken the fabrics of Boardwalk, Frank, and they have matched these. So I know that for a fact because she explained that at this last event I was at with her. So she did explain that, And it made me realize that Glide is really the thread to go, number one, but it's also color coordinated with her quilt. So I'm using those colors today because I'm still using Boardwalk fabric to, or Boardwalk designs, and I wanted to use that thread. So, as you can see, I'm still stitching this out, and we don't necessarily have to get to the end of it. I want to show something else while this is stitching. I have also been quite diligent in making and trying to get some of my boardwalk done at the same time. So these are some of the applique blocks of boardwalk. I have more at home, but these are my favorite. Just stitching them out makes me laugh and because these bathing suits are just great. And so here's two. Here's another color of the same one. And you can see she's used boardwalk fabrics. I've used the thread, and I've also done what I've told you. Put Terial Magic on my top, put SF 101, and tear away in the hoop. And here's the last one, Frank, this little bathing suit. Now her embellishments are a whole nother story. And this project that we have is gonna be embellished too. So, and it is not gonna be the quilt, and it's not gonna be something different, but you're gonna need some red leather. You're gonna use the red leather from Kimberbell. I call it embroidery leather. Forgive me, I call it leather. But it's the embroidery leather, it's red. We can get it from right here at wishuponaquilt. And right here is the embroidery, forgive me, embroidery leather. And all of these are the new leathers. Actually, my new me time this month that was supposed to happen, I was using the leather on bibs, not bibs, onesies. So it's a big thing, but it's really cool to embroider with. And I noticed that in your quilt embellishment kit, they do have a sheet so that you're going to use, but you can't use that for this because it's something extra. So we do want you to use this because this will also be an embellishment to this project, this new wonderful project that I've come up with. Also, this is a piece of the leather. I'm sorry, the vinyl. You may have vinyl around. You've had other projects that you've used vinyl with. We're using vinyl today. For this project only on the bus and the VW Bug for the windows. So you don't need a huge piece. I just had a nice piece here. Actually, I cut this from some other vinyl I did have. Also, Frank, I'm going to stop a minute and let people know that they need to, if they are Kimberbellites, like I am, and a Kimberbell fan, they would have their orange pop rulers. If you don't have them, and you don't during this time of this project, only while I'm online, Frank is going to offer both of these. You will need your square and your rectangle for $99. Now, these are normally together would be $115 or $120. I can't tell. But normally in events and whatever, we offer these. You will need both of them. There's no other way out. They're a wonderful way to fussy cut. I know that some of you have, if you've done the quilt, you need these.
Everything Costa is showing you is online on our website. Everything.
Yes, thank you, Frank. Everything is online on the website. Thank you, Frank. That's true. And we will be using both of these to do this. As you can see, this is going to be a square, and then you're going to end up with some rectangles in your other two blocks that I have here. So you will need both of them. I'm really sorry to say that, but not really, because you will use these a million times. Tomorrow, when we're ready and you're ready and you've got all your blocks done by tomorrow, and you get your kit or you do whatever you want, and you have them ready with me, then I'm going to show you how to use these using a circular thing that we have back there to turn it around. It's just so much fun. I love this. So orange pop rulers, you need those. Also, I pulled out something else, Frank. This may not be for everybody, but this is my 404. You know how much I love 404. I don't use 505 because this is a repositionable spray, adhesive spray. Now let's talk about why I use it. I use adhesive spray for my cutter. My cutter is very important to me, whether I'm using the Artistic Edge cutter by Janome or I'm using any of the colors you may have at home. I own them all, from Cricut to Silhouette to Brothers Scan and Cut. Those seem to be the most popular. And so here's what I want to show you real quick. As you can see, this is difficult. Look, Frank, take a look at that. That is the palm leaf for the palm tree. Now there's not, and I'm a great cutter, but I knew when I saw that I could not get in there and have a clean cut without nubs showing. So what I did was, I have been using Kim's SFG or the SVG files that are on, and then I was able to translate them and put them in my cutter. And you can see how sweet my my palm tree is, because it really is a very clean cut, as you can see. And it's a very clean cut. I laid it down, and what you do when you use a pre-cut, you just skip the next step. You do the placement line and never do a tack down. You can tack it down by using a little bit of your adhesive. Now that adhesive is used for your fabric when you put it on your mat to cut it. But you can also use it here. Or one of my favorite things I love to use, and we sell them here, is this Soline pin. And the Soline glue pin is made for fabric, and we use it here. You sometimes can use it, I think, for paper piecing and stuff, but I use it for a glue stick, and it helps glue it. So we only got a few minutes left. I wanted to start you on our bicycle to show you how I build this. Tomorrow it'll be all done. I want you to work on these 5 blocks. So once again, they are right here. And Frank, I'm going to tell them one more time. Frank, before we close up, page 42.
The book is online.
Yes, the book is online. And I think it's $79.99. And if you're just wanting to do my project today, get the book, because you're going to want to do the quilt too. If you haven't pre-ordered the quilt, it's time to do it now. I don't know how long we can keep it here. Do the pre-order. That is there too. And that is also, and I'm playing with Judy, but Judy and Lylene have been cutting boardwalk quilts for decades. I can see Frank rolling his eyes, oh my God. So they have been doing it. So get your quilt kit here too. In the quilt embellishment kit is included in that, isn't that, Frank? So it is all, and I will be doing this section from page 43 to 45. Now don't get smart on me and say, oh, I'm going to start doing this throw, because we ain't doing a throw. So get those blocks done, and then I'm going to show you what else you have to do.
So what do they have to look forward to tomorrow at 11 o'clock?
Tomorrow we're going to get back together. You're going to have your blocks. We're going to trim your blocks using our orange pop rulers. And then we're going to sew the blocks together using my M7 Continental, which I love, 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 love. It's changed my life in the way of sewing. And so we're going to put them together, and then we're going to add the boardwalk to it. A strip of brown striped fabric that should be in your kit. We'll be adding that to it. And then from there, I'm going to tell you what you have to do for your homework.
So tomorrow, 11 o'clock.
Join us!
Same channel, same bat station, same time. And because Costa really hated to do this, we wanted to give him a present. So Costa, here's your empty bottle of wine that you gave me.
I gave him a bottle. He didn't need any wine. And he was picking on me forever to get this thing done. But I do want to say this to you. Before we leave today, stay connected with us. And tell people you love them. Love each other.
We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, Costa, do you need a Diet Pepsi?
I do. I got one right here.
Let's show the folks.
Yes.
See you tomorrow, 11 o'clock.
See y'all later.